Hey guys, welcome to this unannounced stream. You might come past it if you're following me on YouTube or whatever. What I'm working on is something a bit tricky, is getting sound effects out of Goat Tracker to then play alongside the SID track, and I think I did it all wrong initially. I just thought you could just fire them off without SID support, but I think now you need the SID track. So I'm just been reading into it a bit more. Some information here, there and everywhere. It's a bit fragmented, but let's see. A friend of mine sent a file which is created, converted that to sound effect using that. The file output is code. It results in 10 bytes of data, which I think I should include in my source. However, what kind of data is this? That's where I kind of am with it as well. So someone else 8 years ago ran into this issue. Yeah, the chapter 5 of Goat Tracker 2 README is supposed to have all you need. Well, maybe I'm the wrong Goat Tracker. Goat Tracker 2 README. Chapter 5, 111. 2, 3, 4, 5. I get so stuck with this machine code jargon that it becomes impossible not to use like extra help, so to speak. I end up just like resorting to asking probably sources that most people wouldn't. Let's see if in the editor. Yep, that's what I've done there. If you use patterns longer than 64 rows, as part of the relocation fails because it's too complex. Each pattern row can be 0 to 4 bytes packed, and the total amount of bytes per one pattern may exceed 256. Okay, let's say patterns. Use patterns longer than 64. No, I'm not using longer than 64. If wave pulse filter tables overflow past 255 without a jump control, other serious errors, you get warning. Yeah, seen that. Okay. Unused instruments, unused table entries, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, GSR start address, play one of the music. Yeah, but the main thing, echo sound effect support, here we go. Buffered SID writes, instead of writing each SID value as soon as possible, waits for the end of the channel's execution on each frame and then writes the registers in one go, improves sound stability, takes more memory and raster time. Okay, as a sound effect engine for use in games, implies buffered writes to use call in the following way. Yep, that's kind of what I gathered, but what I'd done is just never realised I had to have a track as well. The sound effects have hardcode priority system based on their start addresses, sound higher memory, and be interrupted. Okay, doesn't say anything about that though. Doesn't say that you need a track to be playing. That's annoying. Or how to convert sound effects. I'm kind of stuck with what I do at the minute is just to like change the music track and have a track be a sound effect, but I mean that's alright, but then you can't get back to the same position of the music, and it means resetting the music, which is no good if you want music and sound effects. So I just want to support music and sound effects, and the sound effect being in the third channel. So you can do different stuff. Okay. As a routine, the player's jump table to change the master volume level to use calling. Okay. Master volume command DXY. Right. I'm going to put this aside just because writing's tiny. need to have it over here so I can actually work. So looking at what I had so far was all wrong. Basically, I had macro sound effects. It's in the compile chain. Alright. And I had it like pretty basic. So where it just does that. Now, I wonder if this would sit. I've not actually tested it with a SID yet, so this might still work. So I'm just doing loads of testing with it. I'm going to try load in a SID and see what happens then. So that's the sound effect. I don't have any instruments. Shit. So I need to go into Goat Tracker and make stuff. Alright, let's do that. I'll be working on my laptop quite a bit, so a lot of the little test files are there and I can't be bothered going to get them. So I'll just make something up. So first I'll do like a 0 track, right? A nothing track, right? So I'll change that to subtune 1 right away, and then I'll make some do sound effects or music first. Let's see, how does it work then? Does that mean that the sound, the music and the sound effects need to be contained in the same project? No, because I'm going to move the sound effects to a different location. It's really complicated. Anyway, let's just make up some, make it turn into a Goat Tracker session here. Okay. Oh, someone's just messaged me that an item's available. Let's see. I'm just checking the YouTube feed is okay. Right. I'll just put that up there. What's that? I'll put the volume down. Right, okay. So yeah, I need to make up a little SID tune, something basic. Boom. Is it not playing? Let's stop them right away. What have I done? Why is that stopping right away? Oh, because what? No, I don't get it. What? There's nothing in here. Ah, and also I shouldn't use pattern 0 because this needs to all be just zeros here. Right, so it's just good to have a blank like that, and then just take all this out. Right, so that's 0, 0, 0. That's my nothing track, and then pattern 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Right. And I can't hear anything. Oh, instrument 0. Right, I'll make up a couple chords or something for it. Let's see. So I noticed there's an instrument 0 as well. I think you can have an instrument 0. Yeah, why not? But I'll leave all the zeros as nothing, just because I'll just do that. I don't know if it matters, but it just means for me it's a bit easier. Right, let's give it a name as well. Pulse space. Helps if you can type. Right, and then let's do another instrument, and I'll just do a nice soothing one, like a 2-1, 2-0, FF, wave 4. Let's do that. Higher. Do a little wibble wobble to it. I don't know, just putting some numbers in here. I'll figure it out in a minute. Vibrato parameter 1. Pressing the wrong bloody buttons. Oh yeah, you need that off. Didn't you? It needs a little delay. That one again. Boom, 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 boom. Right, that's basically just going to be the loop to test with, right? And then I'll see if I can get sound effects into that. So let's save it. F11 saves the song. Test loop. Channel. Let's save that. Not there. Right, save that there. And then export that. So play retain options, buffer set rights, no. Sound effect support, yes. And volume change, I'm going to say yes as well. So I think that's how I should do the SID, at least. Right, accept that, and I like 1000 is my favorite place. Sure. SID is best. Right, put it in the same place. Right. Okay, let's just test that actually works so far. And load. No, we don't need to load a file. We need a SID asset, SID music. Right. Test 3-channel music, and then I just drag in a SID music. Choose the asset, and that should just work. Oops, forgot an RTS. Oh no, I never broke that. No, I broke that. What have I done? Oh, track 1, of course, right. I remember track 0's are nothing. Whew, sweating there. Right, I need to make sure I don't break stuff that's working. Right, so that's cool. And then let's say I did want to have a sound effect. I'm just completely not clued up about how to do this yet. Let's just see what people are saying. Chapter 5 got to be supposed to contain all the info you need. To use effects, use the packet reel and compile your tune with sound effect support enabled. Done that. The data you get from instrument to sound is what you should point the sound effect call. Start address +6, i.e. to low byte of data address. Yep. And a high byte of a data address in Y. Depending on which channel you want it played on. Oh, that's good. Note the instrument sound effect conversion is very simplistic. Only supports ADSR setting, fixed pulse width, a wavetable, absolute pitches. That's good. That's what we want anyway. It should terminate with FF into 00 stop into FF 00. Yeah, stop. Okay, that's what I've got there. These are the terminators. Terminators. Thank you very much for your help. However, I managed to get it working yet. Including it too. Do not call music in it for the sound effect. That's only for music playback. Instead call music plus 6. Yeah, all you need is the area stuff for music initialization. You're the man. Let's see, it works like a charm now. Okay, makes it sound simple. So plus 6. Let me figure out what I need to do now. This is where my brain sort of melts down. So load in the sound effect. Pretty sure these are wrong. This is just from old experimenting. These are just defaults. Default instrument 0. Yeah, that really depends. I don't think that's right. Yeah. Let's see what else I can find. Right. So it says the JSR plus 6 of the thing is I've got the sound effects in a different location. Anyway, let me just try adding, see what I've got already. Yeah, I need to make that up actually as well. So do I do it in a different tune? I need to convert it. Is that what he said? You convert it? Yeah, the data you get from instruments to sound is what you should point to the sound effect call. Right. How did I do that again? How did I convert the sound? Oh yeah, it lives in the same folder, and then you do a thing on it. Where's the notes on this? So I'm just looking at my notes on the other screen. You don't want to see the chaos. Is it mess? I don't really know. Okay, I can do anything until 2 PM or any day this week, so into it. I'm just buying my daughter a toy thing, which I was talking to a Facebook marketplace person. Alright, yeah, the instrument to sound thing. Yeah, I'm just looking for my notes on how I converted it. Right, here it is. Run it in the command line. Right, with my sound effects. Okay, so I need to make something up. So I can use a new thing for it. I don't know if it matters really. Does the sound effects need to be part of the same thing? I don't know. I'm going to assume it doesn't. I'm going to assume it doesn't. Right, I've saved that anyway. Let's just start a new goat tracker, and I'm pretty sure it's just data anyway. It doesn't really matter about it. Let's do a sound effect. So I don't know, just something goofy. Just go do crazy random stuff. Some pulse table. Will it allow? Maybe it doesn't allow pulse stuff. Just make it simple. Right, all anyway to 1. cool little sound effect. Make that more interesting. And then I don't know how the pitch actually works, what default pitch it plays at. Maybe if you press space here. That sounds like C1, C2. Right. So if I make sure I do that, because that's probably what it's going to play. Does it matter where? Oh no, it's the instrument that I want to save. Right. What I name it? Blip. Right, and then that gets saved as what do we do? Instrument to sound. So we export the instrument. Export with F10, no, F11. Save that into. Oh, sake. My eyesight's not been great lately. Give it double vision. Graphics, SIDS. I want a new folder, but you can't do that here. Just put it in SIDS. Right, blip instrument. Just make sure both are in the same folder. So I'll move a copy of the instrument to sound. I'll have a copy of that, thank you, and I'll put that into SIDS, and I'll make a new folder actually, sound effects. In fact, let's take the whole folder out and put it sound effects is. And then actually run this. Oh, you need to do the command line. I can run PowerShell, can't you? No, PowerShell, what is it? Nope, can't do it here. Let's do Windows R, CMD, and then I need to make the drive the same. Let's see, do that again and I'm just responding instead. All right, CMD. Right, can I not just do this in CMD? CD. CD and then paste that. We have to do backslashes. there we go. Right. And then I need to run this script. So it's basically this is the one I did earlier, but I need to change the name to blip. Bit of a bollock doing this. I'm going to like integrate the conversion tool into C64 dev machine eventually to just do it automatically, and then you don't have to worry about it because this is a bit annoying. Right, that should relative note or absolute C0 C# found. What does that even mean? See if there's anything online about that. INS to SNT2. Tracker, oh, here we go, Goat Tracker sound effects, found some more info on it. I'm slowly making progress learning Goat Tracker across having to play with sound effects. Welcome to my world. I've tried using example sound effects and they convert, no problem. But when I try to make my own, I always get this. I look to Goat Tracker, okay, is anyone? There's quite a few limitations on sound effects as opposed to instruments. In this case, you are either using relative notes or C0, converted to absolute notes, or remove C0s. Oh yeah, the absolute notes. Yeah, okay, I remember about that. So C64, what's it called? The wavetable. The thing is, I find these files and I download them and then I forget where I put them. Have I got it on my G drive? Goat Tracker. Let's see, I've saved this image. Goat Tracker. No. Alright. Right, Goat Tracker cheat sheet. Command ref. The thing is, it flashes up and then disappears, so you have to download it real quick. Nah. It's locked behind some bloody paywall. Basically, it's this. Open image in the tab. Maybe tiny thumbnail. It's all locked behind this script. What's the point in that? I'm really pissed off with that. I need to know the commands. Right, that one's not too bad. Open link in the tab. Open image in the tab. So yeah, I was doing it was just like quickly screen grabbing, but I couldn't do it fast enough. Like, cheeky bastards. Yeah, this one might do it. Right, absolute notes. 818D99, right? So I'd have to use them. Well, that's new knowledge at least. If I can see them. And I was putting some random ones. 8298. BC. BC. A4. 8 2 8 8 1. Right. Probably sound rubbish, but let's go. Different octaves. Right, let's just try that then. It's such a bollock just to get sound effects out. It really is. I do want to make my own sound effects tool later, because this is too much of a faff. Right, export 11, save instrument, D. Okay, and then run the converter again. Relative note or absolute C. What? Am I doing this wrong? Absolute notes. Relative note or absolute C0, C sharp 0 found. Doesn't like C zeros. Ah. C sharps. Okay, so 82. Let's do 9A, yep. A6. AA. B8. I hear it when you learn stuff that's just so fucking limited, man. So crazy. Right. Now, this time. Export sound. Save instrument. This time. Hey, right. Why did I start this project? Anyway, let's go back to trying to figure out how to get this sound in. So where am I? Yeah, this guy. Okay. No, there was a different one I was looking at. Shit, where is it? Lost it now. We've lost it now. Or was it here? Yeah. Right. Yeah, done that. That's working. Don't know if possible would be able to expand what you mean. Oh, good luck with that. Yeah. In the wave table, 07F are relative notes. Okay, it works now. Yeah. TF, the frequency next to the waveform. Okay, relative note or absolute note error. Right, okay, well that's that done then. I'm going to put that aside for documentation later, because this is going to be a bollock to explain to people. So I've put in some music, alright. So that's all working, shows track 1. Just a simple loop, and then I'm going to load in my sound effect that I've just made, and I'm pretty sure this is not working, so load in my sound. I've put it to 3000, and then here's my sound effects thing. I think I set it up, I think I just call it. Yeah, I'll just try and call it once. Let's put it into somewhere. Yeah, let's put it there. But what am I calling? Yeah, 3003 or 3006 or something. So then, right, choose that. -1. Uh-oh. Alright, here's where everything's broken. This needs a rewrite because it's old code, and it's not going to happen right away. Let's see. I'm going to be really stuck on this. So sound effects, and it was complaining about instruction 02 current 1 sound effects. Divide by 0, of course. Yeah. Right. 36 of step event macro sound effects. Line 36. Instructions 2 equals current plus 1. Let's look at the sound effects count. Sound effects count equals 1. Real instructions 0. Well, this is just purely for determining what sound it is, I think. Do I really need this? Instruction 02 equals current plus 1. Yeah, I'm just going to take that out. I should have saved it. I need to set everything up again. So music, load a SID. Right, and then put an RTS in, make sure that's track 1. Alright, let's just save this. Right, that's playing the music, hopefully. Right, yeah, this is completely broken still. So load file, can I just right, sound effects. Thing is, I don't know if I just load it in anyway, then pick the sound effect. It still says -1. It's still a bit broken. And then put an org here for 3006 or 3003, I forget which one it is. I'm just putting an RTS in there. Oh, do I need an RTS? I need a label. This is really early testing this, and it won't work. It will most likely won't work. Get a crash out or nothing. So it's playing that. Let's try a game loop. Put that there. Let's try and just put that there for now. Try a couple of things. Okay, crash out. Try that there, and that in there. Let's just check we've got the sound loaded at least. Yeah, that's there. So 28080082219881. That's basically that data there is matching this 280801 2808. What's the 0 there? So 2A. In fact, what is that? 2A. Ah, here 2A08. Then guess it doesn't care about the wavetable. 82, 21, so it's doing that one, then that one. 9881, that one, then that one. A621. A10, so it's just reading all these, and then the 0 is actually the terminator here. That's how that works. And okay, I can see there's a few bytes missing before that comes in then, so 3000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like the raw data, the raw. But does that need parsed then? That's weird. Why has it got dollar signs and commas in it? It's like reading it like a string. I guess the player reads that. I don't get that though. What's this SID look like? Pretty sure the SID's just raw data. Yeah, the SID's just raw data. So that's weird. Am I loading the right thing? SND. Yeah, instrument to sound. See, this was the problem I bumped into the first time, is that I didn't really know if I was converting to binary or a sound file, but it's giving me like a string of text. So I don't know if that's working right. It's confusing, because now I need to parse it into actual code. That's partly the reason it's not working. This is going to be a struggle. This is going to be a struggle. I might just write my own sound effects system instead of trying to use Goat Tracker, but that would take about a month. I was hoping for a quick win with this. Does anyone know sound effect stuff? That's annoying. Why is it giving me byte data? Is no one complaining about that not working? I hate how there's just a lack of like people with problems on forums like, yeah, that worked, thank you. It's like, but what about me? So let's see if I can find some Goat Tracker. I even tried Claude at one point to try work out how to convert stuff. In fact, no, it helped me with trying to like get the conversion working, because I couldn't get it working. So sometimes I'll resort to some things like that if I'm really stuck. But what I want to do is figure out Goat Tracker sound effects export showing as string data and not raw data, I suppose. There's just fucking nothing on it. Drives me mad. How are you supposed to make anything? Sound effects export and to SND byte data. Let's see if there's anything here. I've obviously looked at this before.
So every frame needs to suggest that one pass in the frame. You can do that in a number of different ways.
That's what I was trying. I was trying that here. I was JSRing to this. In fact, I'm not JSRing to it. I was jumping to it. It might make a difference. Still get that. Maybe I need an RTS, and well, that's going to overwrite 3003 with an RTS. If we look at the 3003, No, it says juice or 2020. 2020 looks in there. I'm not loading anything into there. Yeah, the thing is that's garbage, because it's converting it to like a string or something. How's that even useful for me? I don't fucking get this. Oh, why did I go down the sound effects route? So it doesn't even matter if I'm calling it. I know it's garbage string data. You can see it clearly with the machine code. Why is it asking me to convert to that then? The data you get from it is what you should point sound effect at. bytes of data, which include my source code. You know what it is? It's not the same kind of data. I don't need to convert it because I'm not using maybe a conventional, byte data. I just need the raw data from it. So how would I get that? So I do need to make a custom conversion tool at the end of the day, because this won't work for me. I just need this data. What if I just type it in? I could do it my way, actually. Let's just do it with actual data then. Byte data, edit notepad. In fact, can't I just get the actual file, open it in this one, wasn't it? Instance of sound, open with notepad. Please don't give me garbage. There we go. Gave me the actual data. So I'll just copy that directly to here. Save it. And now I've just stole the bytes. So that's better, because now I've got all this. I'll put that and get rid of that. Put that into 3000. Be amazed if this works. Let's just run it. Let's just check what it's done. MP is in 2808 to so it's the same data. No, it's not the garbage. So we just injected the actual data straight in there. Right. Okay, that's a good start. But let's get rid of that. Still not right. Poo. But that's gonna happen all the time. Like 60 frames per second. That's not what we want. I just want it to call it like once. Maybe I can do it on like a fire button or something. Move you there. Oh, yo. Right. I'm really suspicious about how I've set this up here. Oh yeah, and the asset as well has gone. Ah, shit, I can't use my... Do you know what that... I don't even think I need that now because I've just injected this directly. Doesn't make any sense though. Yeah, it crashes when I press fire. Let's try putting this at 1003. Yeah, but it doesn't know where my sound effects live. Oh, this is so fucking difficult. Doing something. I think that's just because I'm just hacking into this. I mean, I can do all sorts of things for fun in games. So when I basically press fire, it's interesting. So that is definitely interesting. That, I mean, it is close to working. GSR here. I'm going to add an RTS. If I add an RTS though, it'll get overwritten by the byte data, or it'll try overwrite it. D3300. Nope, 8221 is just the raw data coming from here. I think 8221, yeah. So it basically overwrote the machine code with that. I'm doing this wrong. Yeah. Right, go back to that guy. Where was he? Where was the dude? I'm just watching. This one.
This way, which is the way that I think Shaman used in
Right.
Luna, is he had a game loop. At the end of each game loop,
Ooh,
you point of the raster beam, and at that point you then called the music subroutine. So basically you're waiting until the raster beam is a certain time.
I've got this included in the SID, that's what updates it.
Comes down, and then also the music, and that will make it play.
I wonder if that's part of the problem.
Unless something that you're doing takes longer than 50th of a second, it shares loads and loads of stuff with the community, and so I use that particular sound effect there, so it's not mine.
I could do with taking a look at this.
So I'm going to play Subtune 0. I could prove that, but I'm not going to run stage. You can also play Subtune 1. Device window. Play Subtune 1, not broken. Subtune 2, which has got channel 3 unused. I could press 3, but probably just break it. So if I put an invalid number in, it will just play nothing. And playing nothing is different in Goat Tracker world to playing an empty tune. It can be. So I always recommend that you create an empty tune with just zeros in the playlist.
That's what I've done.
Rather than just playing a tune that you've not got any data into. It might not actually play anything at all, so it might not play sound effects.
Just keeps it ticking.
So that's how to incorporate the basic sounds into your program, which I hope is kind of clear.
His routine is so much simpler than mine, by the looks of it. Mine is a bit of a mess. Right. Okay.
So that's what I'm doing in my game loop. I've got a little macro that just waits for a particular vertical blank. It compares $D, I can't remember wherever the raster is. It compares that to a number, waits for it to hit that certain point. JSR is all 1003. It runs through my keyboard checking command, which is just looking for raw key codes and then playing that again. yes steps, I'll happily share the code later, or I'll stick it onto Challenge Discord if you want. You have to remind me because I forget. But
where is this
I'll
from?
share my source code, although it will be in CDMPIG Studio.
6 years ago.
That's what I can do the quickest. So that's all that's doing now.
I need to get in touch with this guy because he obviously knows what he's doing. Hey Richmond, Mike, are you watching? Can you help?
So, as I said earlier on, the sound effects are saved in the .ins instrument file. It's an instrument file that is only for using Goat Tracker. You can't play that directly into the C64 thing, the C64 program. If you save a Goat Tracker file with that play routine for sound effects, you can then play sound effects, but you need to convert the sound effects into binary. And all that it's doing is it's creating a series of that wave table basically, where we say, for the first frame, set with the sawtooth waveform and play the A3 note. For the second wave, keep that waveform the same and play an A2 note. And then change the waveform to, I don't know, a sawtooth, pulse wave.
That's what I've got.
And initiate the decay phase of the instrument. C note, etc., etc.
So I thought, forget what it was.
So that's how it's actually creating the instruments. What the Goat Tracker Play then does is it plays them.
I wonder, I'm just curious now if the instrument file is raw data. Open with pad. Yeah, I mean it's but it's got the head, the name. I mean it's not usable because it's Goat Tracker version, name of the instrument. What's this? Goat Tracker specific, obviously.
In line with the music, so you tell it what channel to play on, and it will incorporate that into the music. So the sound effects will continue to play over the top of the music. It'll just mute the music while the sound effect plays, then continue the music. So if you do that, you get the kind of crazy comets feel, where as you're shooting, you can't hear the melody line of the song. Another approach that you could take is you can do what I do, which is I try to compose in 2 channels. The human race music does that. Compose in 2 channels, leave one channel free, channel 3, by tradition, and then trigger all your sound effects on channel 3. When you're doing that, you've then got to worry about the priority of the sound effects. And so Goat Tracker is actually really clever in its player. You load your sound effects into RAM at a certain place, and the order that you load them into sets the priority. So let me get this right. So an instrument that's higher in memory, sound effects higher in memory, will never overwrite one that's lower in memory.
Yeah, I read about that. That's useful, I suppose. If you've got 2 sounds playing at the same time, if you need to.
So the first sound effects that you load is the least priority, so that they get overwritten by any others. So what I do is I tend to put the
less
gunshot sound
important
effects
first.
low and explosion sound effects high, so the lengthy sound effects don't get cut off by shorter sound effects.
Fair enough.
You've got to think about it a little bit about exactly how you want to arrange them, but how you arrange them does arrange the way that they get triggered. And so you can do some quite cool stuff with it. So where we're up to is we need to now work out how to convert these things into binary format. Does anyone know if it does? That works. Brilliant. Okay.
Let's see how he does it.
We've got a program called Inst2Send2.
Converts to ASCII string, which is handy for these text-based editors. For me, I had to use it as byte data, which is fine as well. I'm going to watch this anyway because I want to not miss it.
I will show you the folder, although you probably won't be able to see it. That's the explosion, gunshot, jump, and pickup. And I've also, because I found it much easier to do it this way, copied Inst2Send2.
That's what I've done.
The Goat Tracker download.
Good to know I'm doing the same stuff.
The reason I do that is I
blindly. That's how I tend to work. The ant feelers. Yep.
And then all we need to do is use the Inst2Send2.
Can't see what you're typing, dude. Thank you.
You still read it when it's smaller? If If you just run it without any arguments,
Yeah, that'll just do nothing.
if I could work out without any arguments, it will tell you there what it does. So that's a usage. So you do instance2.exe.
Oh, there's options.
The instrument file, which has got to meet those criteria that I described earlier on about the not using relative notes, not using C0, and not using the pulse table.
Never did that in me. Does it do all the help stuff? Yeah, it does. What are the options? Things that will be lost in concept: wavetable loops, yeah, pulse width modulation, filter settings. Yeah, you don't get support with them. That's what I thought. Okay, waveforms greater than 81, relative notes. Yeah, okay. Options. Oh, okay. Cover script deprecated. B, produce binary output. I guess I never did that. So just press B. And I guess that's what I would want. When did I do that? 1024, right? That's that one. Open with Notepad. That just gives me the same thing. So, I mean, that's not binary, that's a byte string. What's the other options? Produce in cover script format deprecated. Let's just try and see what it does anyway. There's no difference. Wow, what's the point in options?
And then the file that you want to turn it into, followed by a series of options. So if your option is -B, it produces binary output.
Bear in mind, I'm learning all this stuff for the first time whilst making this C64 dev machine. I'm just deep diving into whatever shit I have to go through, and this is an example.
So it really tells you everything you need to do.
But I do get quite stuck with it, I admit that.
Now, threes.
And certain tools are useful, that's all I'll say.
Sound effects with a certain set of file names. I don't know if you forgot those, sfx_1 to sfx_6. So the easiest thing for me to do is to convert the files. Go on screen again. Explosion.ins. I'm calling it sfx_1. That's my binary file I'm going to create that in my folder I'm currently working in. So that one didn't work, so I found absolute note. We'll come back to that one. We'll try the gunshot. And that one's converted fine. If it's working fine, you get no output whatsoever, but you'll see the file appear.
It should be relatively easy for me to convert these and inside. So you can just bring in your sound file. Because it's just Unicode or whatever you want to call it.
So what I didn't like was the
binary.
explosion. So if we go track it back.
I can even like get the name as well. Should be useful.
I'll load that one back in.
Because I've seen that on the string there that you get the name. I can just pass all that in.
If we then load in that file again. Oops, and load some. So first the
Once I've got it working, I can make it quite good, quite easy, and you don't have to use this converter. Because that's too much of a. Leave that to the sound guy, and then just get the sound effects. But if you're making a game yourself, I don't want to give you extra steps.
A C note or a C sharp note somewhere in there.
But all these rules with Goat Tracker makes me want to make my own sound effect engine as well, or creation tool. A bit like Shoot 'em Up Construction Kit would be kind of cool.
5D.
That was good
So
enough.
I've just been reducing the pitch. I've just put a really low pitch in there to try and make it go lower, and I've forgotten that I'm not allowed to go below 82.
That's what I was doing, sorting out a minute ago.
Because if you do 80 or 81 in that, it'll break. Still seems to work at that.
Cool sound.
Back out again. And just go back over to, I could do about 15 monitors to be able to do this.
Checking am I actually recording sound here as well.
The explosion. Look on that.
Yeah, let's bring it up a bit, sorry.
So, what I could have done now is...
Right, I've made that louder.
I can show you what files I've got, because I can do a...
Sorry if that suddenly jumped in volume for you guys.
Change directory, cross drive to there. There we go. So what you see there is I've got my original .ins instrument files, explosion, gunshot, jump, pickup. I've then got the SFX files that was created as 4. And as you can see, they have more bytes because where GoTracker would just kind of say, define a waveform and play it, we need to define byte by byte exactly where all that's going to go. So that's what's happened there. I can then, well, I'll do it on screen to prove that I'm actually doing it, but it might not really make any sense. So on the left there, I've got my GoTracker sound effects, SFX 1 to 4. I'm dropping them into my music and sound play source folder, replacing the ones that are already in it. So they're my new files, and they're being created. Close down GoTracker.
Forgot to save. You never saved. I never saved.
Now I'll show you how I load them into memory. Again, I'll fiddle it with Word. So. So, at $1,000, I've got 8 bin for my music at PRG, which isn't actually identified in that instance.
Yeah, this is the important bit because
So offset, so I'm not getting the import number.
he's got his
Then
music
straight
there.
after that, doesn't matter where I put them in memory, but I can put them anywhere I want because these are
Yeah.
sound files.
So that's what I've done. I put him at 3,000.
I'm including them in order. I've included them in the order so that number 6 has got the highest priority, although I've only just put 4 in. So number 4 that we've just put in as the highest priority, and we'll overplay over any of these three.
That's something I need to add actually is where does the SID data end so that you can have it right after it.
So that's actually included.
Don't have that.
To play them, there's some different code.
It doesn't say where this ends or how big it is. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. That's
To play
important.
them, I can find a macro called play sound. So I'm playing sound. My first
Find the bloody pin.
first argument in that macro is the effect. So SFX1, SFX2. That's the label that I gave it when I loaded it into my RAM. Number 2 is the channel. And the channel is a bit mask. So the channel is a bit mask. You can play it on all 3 channels at once. It's a bit mask if you have it as 1, it'll play on channel 1, 7 it'll play on channel 2, 14 it'll play on channel 3. I don't fully understand how the bit mask actually works, but if you do it as binary, it makes a lot more sense. Channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. And you can also play it on a combination of any of those channels. I tend to use 14 because I tend to leave channel 3 as the blank one. And what we do is we load the number related to the bottom of the argument number 1. So what we've done there is
Wait a minute, isn't that
we've loaded
channel 1's then 1, channel 2's then 2, channel 3's then 4? So why is this in channels 1 and 3? What's this? 1, 7 or 14? One. I don't know. Don't know how that adds up, because that would be 1 plus 2 plus 4. That would be 7. Anyway, run with it.
With the low the low bit, the low byte of the memory location that contains our sound effects. So test effects 1, we'll load the low byte into the accumulator.
Yeah, I've got some of that working.
Y register.
Yeah.
Top. That's the same thing. And we'll load the X register with the bit mask of the channels that we wish to play on. So in that case, we're doing number 2 or number 14. You then want to play the sound JSR to $1006, 6 bytes past the point at which you loaded in.
Okay, is that the problem?
Sound effect.
Is that the problem? I think I tried this already. Yeah. To get that RTS. Wait, Matt, yeah, so the data's just been injected in. Yeah, I don't need to set it up. Music's at 1000. Sound effect is there. I reckon there's something about the way I've set up the SID itself isn't allowing for it. And I'm really reluctant to change that code now because that's solid. As long as I test it and then nothing breaks without the sound effect stuff, I'm alright with it, but I'll need to look into that. And that's a bit of a messier thing.
And once that's been triggered, the sound effect play that you've got playing under interrupts will take over, and every 15th second it'll play that sound until it reaches the end of that wavetable, and then it'll stop playing it. It'll carry on whatever else it's doing. And that, in a nutshell, is how you load and play sounds.
Yeah, that's way too simple.
Assemble this and try it out. I can show it works.
That's too simple.
So binary files all that sat in my folder ready to be built in. I currently playing Subtune 0, which you remember is another one. Steps, yeah, if another sound is triggered while one is playing on the same channel as one that's already playing, it won't play higher in memory. No, higher memory has priorities, it won't play its lower memory. So
higher
if I play
memory.
sound effects 4, it will play over sound effects 1,
Higher
2,
priority.
3. So if sound effects 4 is a long explosion and I play sound effects 1, it'll stop sound effects 1 from playing, provided that I play it all on the same channel. So I can trigger them simultaneously on multiple channels. We can test this out by, we put 4 sounds in.
I could even have a feature that we could potentially reshuffle stuff as well. Like if it loads the sound effects in, I can set the priority for it and it can just reshuffle the data at compile time, so you can organize it. So that would be cool. Organize priority in editor. And also like just importing sound effects in general. What I'd probably do is just have a single goat tracker file, because I think you can export like all the instruments. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself as well, as you do. But if I had a second instrument, I'll test, just give that some data as well. Wavetable, let's just say we start at 5. I think you can only export a single instrument. If I exported this sound, I could this song, I could potentially extract it from a song. So you could have a song contain all your sound effects. That would be kind of nice. So if you did F10, in fact, let's just see. Yeah, let's just save this as. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's what I often do, but it's just I'm always thinking about like user experience and quality of life features that makes this different from something like what he's using. But still, even then, he can just like change the order of his where he includes the files. Right. So I just need that kind of convenience. Makes me wonder why am I not just using something like that, but I don't know. This is for me. I like learning how assembly works through this sort of way. Having to investigate stuff. Why am I looking? SIDS songs. SIDS song. Sound effects song. Right, let's have a look at that file. Where's it saved it? SIDS. Yep. Open with Notepad. It's probably all gobbledygook. Okay, TET, supposed to say test, but yeah, there's a lot of there's data in there that I could use. I can parse all the data out of that, so I could probably just get it from there, to be fair. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of work now. I'm going to jump off the stream because I need to go and do something, and once I've got this working, I'll stream again later. Just I wanted to sort of show you a bit of the process I go through, the hell I put myself through to try and get somewhere. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later.